Good morning, guys. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Attend. Can you say hi? Eh?
Hi.
Can you say hi to people?
Hi.
Tell them to subscribe.
Subscribe.
Yes, sayo.
Asaro.
You umedruka.
Nituka.
Thank you, mom. That's obviously my supervisors. It's another really wonderful morning in the village. We're just getting the day started, and today I want to talk to you about another important topic with regard to building. This house you're looking at has about five bathrooms. And unfortunately, every single one of them is going to have to be torn down completely and redone. Obviously, I am not looking forward to it, but there are mistakes we made. And I hope you don't do the same. So, this house was built about 5 years ago. At the time, I was still relatively new in construction. But over time, we figured out a few things. And now we do a completely different job when it comes to bathrooms. And I assure you, bathrooms are one of the most critical areas that almost all of my clients bring up whenever we talk about construction. So I'm going to show you why our bathrooms have to be brought down. I'll walk you into our master bathroom, give you specific examples. And so if in the process of building, I hope you show your funde this so that you don't have to do this twice like we are doing right now. Because trust me, this issue of building and demolishing is painful, expensive, and very annoying. So come with me. Let's take a look at my master bathroom. I show you what we did wrong and what you could do differently to avoid some of these issues. And a lot of them actually started with the design phase. Sometimes people think that the issues they run into with bathrooms are all about construction. No, a good bit of them start with the design phase because, again, like I say, almost all of our designers have never lived outside Kenya. And so there's some things that we say but that don't make sense to them, or the things they're going to fight you about. Because in their minds, when you're asking for something outside what is standard, then they think you're wrong. So I'm going to show you our master bathroom, show you the things we got right and the things that are going to have to be changed to make it a much better space. But before we do all of that, welcome to Karating Fox. If you are new to our channel, we talk about everything returning, including construction, building, buying property, and all that stuff. And so if you're interested in any of those topics, look for me on the number below. I'm happy to connect you with people who know more than I do. I am privileged to know quite a few people who have been in the industry longer than I have. And so what I do with clients, my job is to connect with the right person and help you supervise your project. So reach out and let me know how best I can support you. But if you enjoy the content that we provide, oh, by the way, I'm just walking out so I can rub it on. So I want you to hear the sounds, the stuff that we live with in the village. So if you live in the city or you live in diaspora, yes, Mama. Okay, I'm coming, Mama. I'm coming, Mama. 1 second. So if you live abroad or if you live in the city, I promise you, the village is fantastic. This is what we live with every single day. So come with me. Let me show you some of the things we could have done differently and the things I'm going to have to change by remodeling our bathroom. So I'll show you, I'll walk in there, I'll skip a little bit, and then I'll show you what our master bathroom looks like. All right, friends. So first thing first, let me just give you an orientation of the entire bathroom, showing you what it looks like and why some of these things have to come down. So as you enter the main door here, on the right side, this side, the first thing you'll see is the toilet. And of course, I didn't know enough about what kinds of toilets to buy. So don't buy this one. There's a video I did about toilets. Watch it before you buy a toilet. So we have a toilet on the right side here. And then right here is where we have what was supposed to be a full wall. This was supposed to go all the way up to the roof. And then there was supposed to be a door somewhere here. And supposedly, according to our designers, they like doing these things where you have a toilet that is separated by a door so that somebody can dung in here while another is taking a shower. It's something that I don't care for. It just squeezes the whole thing. So I had them break this wall into about less than a half. And this is where we built the glass partition. But this was meant to be a full wall. So you get the toilet here on the right side, right next to the window. And I'll tell you why that is a problem. almost all the designers I work with like inserting the toilet right next to the window. So after the toilet, then you have the stand-up shower right here. And basically our stand-up shower measures about 6 feet long by 5 feet on the other side, which to me, again, is decent size. And my architect fought me on that because in his mind, this was too big. In fact, the overall size of the bathroom is about 15 feet by about 14 feet, which again, for my standards is okay. For Texas, maybe that is too small, but this works. So we have got a stand-up shower, which is about 6 feet by 5 feet. And as you notice here, we built some kind of a bench on this side. And the purpose of it is so that you can easily sit over there, use that radio shower head to shower yourself, because at some point you need to sit down while taking a shower, either because of illness or because you're old. So I always give this option for clients. Make sure you have a place where you can sit, or make sure there's enough room where you can insert those portable seats. And then inside the shower, you notice we have just black trims everywhere, everything black. We like it that way, and part of the reason I did that is that I'm avoiding the silver trims, because as you saw in my previous video, those silver ones, if you're not in construction, you really have no idea whether you are getting the real deal or you're getting El Cheapo. And the El Cheapo ones really rust. So we went with this black trim, and as you can see, there's plenty of clearance at the entrance of the shower, so that if you needed to use a wheelchair, you could easily get in. And remember, this is about 6 feet by 5 feet, which in my mind is a decent size. And then as you move right in front here, this is where we have our double vanity with mirrors up there. And I'll also tell you the problem with this too. We've got mirrors in here, and then you'll notice that on either side of the vanity, we have these sockets with the USB charging ports. And here's why that is important. Excuse me. As you can see, I've got my toothbrush right here, which does not have the traditional whatever you use to plug in here. So I can easily charge my toothbrush on this USB ports right here. So this thing really comes in handy. And also, again, this is where I charge my electric razor. Excuse me. So whenever we need to shave, I've got a place to do that. The majority of architects or fundis I work with don't think about that. So we had that inserted. And then we have just a small medicine cabinet, which as of now simply includes our first aid kit. And by the way, don't forget to bring a first aid kit at home. We have a first aid kit. And then you've got this amazing guy here. If you don't know what that is, look it up. This is one that I recommend for people who abuse Mapera. It'll come in handy. But just basically a small medicine cabinet. Not very well done to my standard, but excuse me, it works. And then we've got this nook here, which can be used for keeping soap and all that. And you notice that we only have one of these. That's one of the mistakes we made. It should have been that we have one on this side, right next to the tub, and then another one inside the stand-up shower. But because we didn't put it in here, we end up putting soap on the windows. It's not ideal, but for now, that's what we have to work with. So then on the left side, away from the windows, you have the bathtub down here, which personally I've never used, but some people cared for it, and so we had to install it. Yeah, the tub is something that is important for some people, not so much for me. And then we have the towel rack over here. Like I said, we kept it black all the way around. The main issue I have with towel rack is that people tend to install them so high that makes it difficult for short people or for children to hang their towels. And then towards the exit here, we have this small little nook here that acts almost like storage for putting extra towels and maybe soap and all that stuff. And we can actually put like laundry stuff in here for dirty clothes. So this is essentially the orientation of our bathroom. So the first problem you'll notice is that, and all Kenyan architects do that, see that away from the windows, that's where we have the bathtub. And then towards the windows, that's where we have the toilet. So I would do the exact opposite. I would switch it so that the toilet and the shower are put against the wall. Reason being, many of us like sitting, those who use bathtubs, a lot of my clients like sitting in the bathtub next to the window looking outside on a one-way mirror or something like that. And our window sizes are much smaller than I would prefer. Here's why this is a problem. In Kenyan homes, we don't typically install fans in bathrooms. And so with windows this size, what ends up happening is that when you turn on the hot water, the entire room is going to fog up. And so you don't want small windows in your bathroom, especially if you're not going to install the fans. So what we're going to have to do, instead of having two small windows here, we can put one massive window over here, or really expand this one so that you have more room up there, so that when you're taking a hot shower, the whole room is not fogging up. So in terms of orientation, we're going to have to switch things. Like this, you flip this bathroom so that the shower and the toilet, it's not a shower and the toilet, are against the other wall, and the bathtub is put right next to the window. It comes out really nicely. So that's one thing we're going to change. The second thing we'll change is, if you look at down here at the entrance of the shower, we just it's the same level, but it sort of slopes towards the drain. The problem with that is that sometimes water ends up coming back this side. Excuse me. My throat is somehow messed up a little bit. So what we do now for clients, and I hope you do this, on the stand-up shower section, we drop it down about 1/2 inch, and then we slope it towards the drain. So that way, no matter the arrangement down here, you won't have water spilling back. Because the other option is to create a big ledge, and those ledges can be really dangerous for adults. Because sometimes as you're coming out the shower, you'll hit the ledge and you can fall. And by the way, falls are one of the top reasons why elderly people end up dead or in the hospital. So you want to avoid any raised area or any place with a ledge somewhere. So we're going to have to change the flooring so that instead of putting it on the same level, sloping towards the drainage, we drop it down about 1/2 inch and then slope it down there so there's no water coming back. The other thing we're going to change is these mirrors right here. As you can see, let me show you. These mirrors are really small, and they've actually left a gap up here to the point where you can actually see the points where the electrical lines are hanging. So this thing really looks like, I don't even like it. And in fact, when they were installing the mirrors, they ended up actually cracking the tile back here. So all of this is going to have to come down, and then we'll put a large mirror that covers all this place. Now, the other thing that is going to have to change is this vanity right here. This vanity may look normal to you, but I'm telling you, it's very high. In part because we went with this design where the sink's actually put on top of the vanity, of the granite top here. Now, for somebody like me, it's fine because I'm 6'2", but it's so high that people who are average height or shorter have a difficulty washing their hands on these sinks right here. So if you choose to go with sinks with that are put on top here, make sure you drop this height down further, and then you put it up here so that it's not too high or too uncomfortable. So all of this is going to have to go so that we make it a lot more user friendly. But overall, it's an okay bathroom. I'm still just not happy with it because it's not as functional as we want. Remember, bathrooms are not all about making it look good. You want this thing to be functional, and most importantly, you want it to be safe for use. Again, always remember to use textured tiles on the floor on this side so that there's no risk of somebody slipping and things like that. So I hope this was useful, folks, and I'd be curious to see what you have to say about this. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next. Bye.